The golden child. While some children of alcoholics are forced to be the scapegoat, others are cast in the role of the family hero, i.e., the golden child. Page 88. This is Toxic Parents, Susan Ford. This child is showered with approval from both parents and the outside world because of the enormous responsibility he or she is forced to assume. On the surface, this approbation, would seem to put the heroic child in a much more positive environment than that of the family scapegoat. But in reality, the deprivation and the personal demons are very much the same. The golden child drives himself mercilessly, mercilessly to achieve unobtainable goals of perfection, both in childhood and in adult life. Fuck that up! A few years ago, I received a call on my radio show from a research chemist named Steve, who told me, I'm just immobilized. I'm 41 years old. I'm successful in my career, but lately I just can't make a decision. I'm in the middle of the biggest project of my life, and I just can't concentrate. A lot of people are dependent on me. I'm petrified. All my life I've been such a high achiever, straight A student, Phi Beta Kappa. I was always a self-starter. Now I just feel paralyzed. I asked him if there's anything going on in his life that might account for these changes. He said that his father had just been admitted to intensive care with severe liver damage. Taking my clue from that, I asked Steve if his father was an alcoholic. After a moment, he replied that both his parents were. Steve had grown up coping with the uproar at home by burying himself in schoolwork and becoming a super achiever. Everybody thought I was a super kid. My grandparents, my teachers, even my parents when they were sober. I was the perfect son, the perfect student, and later on the perfect scientist, husband, and father. At this point, his voice broke. I'm getting so tired of being perfect all the time. As a child, Steve earned approval by assuming burdens beyond his capacity, managing them with a maturity beyond his years instead of building a core of self-esteem. By being treated as an innately worthwhile human being, he had to prove his worth through external achievement alone. His self-esteem became dependent on accolades, awards, and grades instead of inner confidence. His drivenness may also have involved an element of compensation. By becoming super adequate himself, Steve may have unconsciously tried to balance out his parents' inadequacy. I told Steve that his father's illness had obviously stirred up a lot of unfinished business for him, and that while I knew he was in pain, it was also a wonderful opportunity for him to start to deal with some of the really crucial issues. I asked him to look at the fact that becoming the family hero was his special way of coping with a horrendous childhood. The role provided a certain amount of safety and structure to his life. Unfortunately, he never learned to go easy on himself. Now, many years later, his search for perfection in all aspects of his life was, as is common with most perfectionists, paralyzing him. At my urging, Steve agreed to seek counseling, both to help him through his current situation and to deal with the deprivation of his childhood. I have to be in control at all times. Children growing up. So, do I want to reflect on this? No. But these are really cool stories, huh? I have to be in control at all times. Children growing up in alcoholic homes are buffeted by unpredictable and volatile circumstances and personalities. In reaction, they often grow up with an overpowering need to control everything and everyone in their lives. We'll finish this one. Glenn reacted to the helplessness he felt as a child by finding his own way despite his timidity to become a controller. Whenever I had a girlfriend, I always seemed to dump her while the relationship was going well. I guess I was afraid that if I didn't dump her, she'd just wind up dumping me. So it was a way to stay in control. Today, I'm always telling my wife and kids how to do everything. I can't help it. I have to be in control. I run my business the same way. I mean, I still can't yell at anybody, but my employees always knows when I'm unhappy. They say I put out vibes. It drives them crazy, but it's my business, right? Glenn believed that by taking control of all aspects of his life, he could avoid re-experiencing the topsy-turvy craziness of his childhood. Of course, having problems with assertiveness forced him to find other means of control, so he fell back on manipulative techniques such as sulking or nagging, which he learned to use quite effectively. Unfortunately, his manipulative behavior created distance and resentment between himself and the people he cared about. Like many adult children of alcoholics, Glenn's need to control people resulted in what he feared the most: rejection. It's ironic that the defenses he developed against loneliness as a child were the very things that brought him loneliness as an adult. Oof. Bittersweet, huh? Man, oh man. It would suck to have to cope with all that shit. You grow up in a healthy household, then you could just, have to deal with life, right? Just have to deal with putting the money in the thing and paying the bills and, putting the gas in the tank. Just regular stuff, right? But God, if you come out of fucking abusive shit, it's like you have to go back and unfuck all that shit that they did and then, get the gas in the tank and the, pay the electric bill and this and that. So it's like, fuck, you made it 10 times extra harder. It'd been better if you would have just set me off into the orphanage and then said sayonara. I mean, what the fuck? It's like, nah, we need to fuck that one up. Green beans, yep. Stick it up there. Why do you gotta stick green beans up there? So we can laugh at you and humiliate you day in and day out. I think I was both, actually, the golden child and the scapegoat. And I wonder if it's... Yeah, I guess I should avoid that then, huh? The being over-controlling. Because that's essentially what I'm reacting against. Too much fucking control and not any love. There's no authenticity. There's no genuineness. It's just, you want power over me. No fucking shit, Sherlock motherfucker. But you gotta earn it. Trust is earned. Trust and respect. I mean, after you done broke the fucking thing, you gotta fucking earn it back or just fuck the fuck off, right? Or just fuck the fuck off. Fuck the fuck off. You fuck the